This is why Marcus Garvey said, a race without authority and power is a race without respect.
True.
We can only get reparations.
It's the mindset. Free your mind. Free your mind. Mindset. Free your mind. Free your mind. Hey, not everything that glitter is gold. Not everything that's white is snow. On the mindset, I just start let them know, let them know, let them know. Oh, words from the wise, I just start, we will never lie. Stand tall, we will never die, we'll forever shine. I just start, shine like the star in the sky. Some hate, some love.
So let's talk about something. Tell us about the things that we're vexed about.
What I'm vexed about Sumfest is this. It's now this new guy from the States, Bobadovich, whatever his name is, who has bought it out, or whatever. He's the same guy who had some Downview release label in Jamaica, in St. Andrew, and so on. Originally, he got involved with Isaiah Leng of Sting. Sting, which we know take place boxing night in Jamaica, mostly over Jam World. Of course, it started at Sinonat in Newton, but then later on is Jam World in Portmore, St. Catherine, beside Portsmouth, near Independence City, Waterford, and so on. Now, what happened is that he did some kind of business alliance with Leng for Sting. But it didn't last long because Leng felt that he wanted to take over Sting, and Leng was not allowing that to happen. Which I agree, because you bring Sting with others and so, and you're not going to allow a foreigner to come and take over your thing. Well, he is now involved, I've heard, with Sumfest coming with the money. And one of the complaints that I've heard people saying is that they have cut the number of nights. I'm going to do some more research on it. They used to have a thing that they call International Night. Right?
Yes.
They have cut that. You know, and some people were saying to me, you know, some people used to come for that International Night because it would help to sell the music, because people would come from abroad, you know, that type of situation.
Yeah, dancehall night, reggae night.
And that type of thing, even though some of the terms, but another time I'll go into that, I don't agree with, because reggae is dancehall music, because it's not opera, it's dance to dance. As Alton, Ellis, my favorite singer, say, Mandingo, when me and John Holt and Hep Tones, and Cornell Campbell, Leroy Sybil's Hep Tones, and the Techniques and Melodians and Ken Booth and Delroy Wilson. When we were singing, what them thing was singing? Opera. We sit down and think, it's dance for dance. Marcia Griffith said the same thing, Baba, it's dance for dance. Remember, you know, when you say reggae, there's a dance for reggae, you know. The dance off the organ shuffle.
Yes.
For real. See? Rocksteady, there's a dance for Rocksteady, the Antilles anthem, come do Rocksteady. Ska, there's a dance for ska. It's some music we played in the dance hall, it's dance hall music. Anyhow, and Sugar Minott is the one, my brethren, who coined the term in a dance hall style to show that, to combat those thieving radio DJs of JBC and RJR in the days. They wanted you to pay them money to play your songs on radio. So Sugar Minott went into the dance hall and used to sing over sound system to counteract those DJs and JBC and RJR who wanted payola money to play music. I, as a producer too, refuse to pay any producer any money, because I spend my money to produce at studio, just like how Sugar sing Echo. And then a guy who is being paid, or a girl, to be a DJ on radio station want money from me, and you're being paid? No way. So in the dance hall, Sugar went and promote the music like that. Them have a so-called clash thing we vex with. Yeah. Them have the Japanese Mighty Crown. Now what some people are saying, and I agree with them, is that Irish and Chin, who were born in the States, I'm told, not Jamaican, were born in the States, put on some clash business, they not only put on clashes with different sounds or DJs, but they are also the agents of Mighty Crown. No, that's a conflict of interest. If you're keeping a clash competition and some entity in the clash, you are also the agent for. How you think that is gonna work?
By us.
You know, I mean, that's just not on. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna say that's not English. That's not Jamaica.
So all right. What I say, it look like it rigged.
You know, like what you have racehorse business for the Japanese.
For the Japanese to win it.
And what I am vexed about with Tony Matterhorn, because I observed that last segment with him and Mighty Crown. One of the Japanese guys call him the B word. Yachty boy. We know what that means. And then afterwards, I see Tony Matterhorn, who used to play Inner City and later from Walter Wally Sound, and later Addis with Babyface. Go on a skin up with the Japanese boy, where earlier was referring to him as a Yachty boy. No, I as yard man, Jamaica man, we're serious and man a man. That couldn't work, that a boy come call you Yachty boy and then you go skin up with him after and a laugh up on them thing there. And not only that too, Matterhorn, especially his last tune, is a clash you're playing, you know. Clash is clash. Clash different from thing. He played a stupid tune that I said to myself, wait, him get paid for play that or what? Because you know when you have set business.
So what you're saying now?
And what I'm vexed about, reggae music like Ska, Mentor, and Rocksteady, they come from Jamaica, and is not, this represent us, our culture and thing. And then you have some of our people who sell out anyhow. You can support.
That is the point that we have a touch upon now. So what you're saying, some of these selectors now are now selling out.
Yes, to the foreigners, we say these foreigners are the champions and them run the things in our music world. None of that. It's for the same reason why I don't check for Grammys and respect Grammys, because no European can tell I, Mandingo the African, what is good and bad in my culture.
So what you saying?
I and I alone know what is good and bad in my culture. So I don't respect Grammy, who want vex, go jump in at the Thames.
So what you're saying that no Japanese or no Indian
no none African from Jamaica come, and especially in my born land, Jamaica. No man, when you have some pride and some people, we always know say you have some people who sell out, you know, because you always have some traitors who cheer for the enemy and support the enemy.
So what you're saying that Tony Matterhorn could have won that easily then?
If him did do and prepare and do him things properly, there is no excuse, because I know from time that him and Mighty Crown going to clash. No, I am not taking away from Mighty Crown the fact that they prepared for the thing, you know. What I'm talking about is that they prepared, and it was obvious to me that he did not prepare.
I tell you the honest truth. I listen the beginning of the clash, and I listen how Tony Matterhorn started, and I listen how Ricky Trooper started. And
I haven't checked that section yet.
I listen how Mighty Crown started, and to be fair and honest, the way Mighty Crown started, they had more vibes to how they started the clash itself.
They came with more vibe.
They came with more vibe, to be honest, than Tony Matterhorn, who is someone who came from King Addis and
before King Addis, Inner City,
yeah,
Wally.
We know,
yes.
But you know, from King Addis is where he get that exposure and known to the whole world. So Tony Matterhorn should have done better in your eyes. than what
definitely
he did. I think he could have done better. You know, we started out playing. But then again, that's another thing. But I see what you're saying, that there's some rigged in the whole thing. All right.
And I tell you why too. Why I tell you that some of our people, because I expect foreigners to support foreigners, some of our people as Africans, some are sellout, whether it's in music and in other things too. You know what I've witnessed over the years, and this is why I'm serious. I have seen whereby African DJs, I as an African, because I am a sound system DJ and a radio DJ also, I've seen where some of our DJs will play a selection of Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaacs, whatever. And a lot of our African people at the dances, whether in England or the States, stand up. And a Japanese or a European will come in the same dance and play the same tune. And you hear, hey, great is that? The slave mentality. The slave mentality. You own people. Stand up on you.
Bias.
Against you. And a European guy or a Japanese guy who imitating how we talk as Jamaican come and play the same tune, and you wouldn't believe it's the same tune that our DJs who just play, you know. Them stand up on our people, you know, and praise and say, great wicked tune selection. This is something that I have witnessed over and over again.
Alright, in closing,
you know, this have to continue.
Yeah, man. What's your view on because now we in July, we're coming to the end of July now, and now is when the festivals they really start in Europe.
Yes.
And you know, going into August.
Yes.
There's a lot of saying, you know, and I ask this question because I hear it a lot about Europe wanting to take over the reggae music, and I hear loads of different views. I want to hear your views, your honest opinion, and
as always, I tell you straight. Alton Ellis was one of my best friends, still is, because he just gone to another dimension. Alton was one of the first reggae artists to go to Japan, Jamaican artist, because Alton started from 1956. I sing New Rail, which is a soft tune. The cocks of that are before Studio One exists. Alton and Eddie. And Alton told me many years ago, he said, Mandingo, you know, you have to be careful with the Japanese and other foreigners. Because when I and others first go to Japan, and them have Japan reggae splash, almost all of the artists and the come from Jamaica. But you see, over the years, them study us. Just like how the Japanese study how Germans and others make car and they make their own version. And then over the years, gradually, the Japanese artists, them on the bass, start to increase and increase. Till now, you don't even have no Jamaican artists again. So what happens is that they'll come amongst you, learn your culture, learn the music and thing. But their intention is to control.
Yes.
Same thing happen with Europe and thing. Can you imagine that we in a situation where, as we speak today, almost the end of July 2018, that there is no pressing plan in Jamaica to press vinyl, to press records in Jamaica? What a disgrace. But so if you want reggae records, ska records, rocksteady records, mentor records to be pressed, you have to get them pressed in Japan or in Europe or in the States. Now, what this is telling you is that Jamaica that created these musical forms, our African people from Jamaica, have allowed foreigners to be manufacturing and taking on. Yes, as we speak. Sonic Sounds, Dynamics, Tough Gang, none of them, they have been shut down. And when you want records, and when these Europeans in France, in Britain, in Japan, when they press, they're selling our music records at exorbitant rip-off prices. And you know what too? A lot of these pressings are pirated. There are no licensed artists and producers get nothing. This is a fact.
So what you're saying that
we need to start repressing, because the moment we start to repress, then the monopoly that they have of pressing our records, the prices will automatically go down, because for obvious reasons.
I was reading with a good friend of yours, and he said he blamed the Jamaican government for what.
Blame the Jamaican government. The so-called Jamaican government is largely responsible for the bad that is taking place in Jamaica economically from ever since, for the mass majority of our people. But what can you expect when you are in a country that you tell the people that we won independence on Monday the 6th of August 1962? I remember it as if like now, because I was there. And you say you fight for independence, as Marcus Garvey said. Yet your head of state is a foreigner, is Elizabeth II of England. The Governor General of Jamaica does not represent the people of Jamaica. The Governor General of Jamaica represents the monarch of England, which is Elizabeth II. Not only that, he swears, the Governor General, allegiance not only to the reigning monarch of Britain, but also to the reigning monarch's heirs and successors. That's mental slavery. This is why Marcus Garvey said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. The fundamental problem that we as African people have in Jamaica, in music and outside of music, in every area of life, as African people in Africa, outside of Africa, is the fact that too many of our people are still mentally enslaved. They are still indoctrinated into the slave mentality that non-Africans are better than them, and that we cannot do things for ourselves, and we must always look for foreigners to help us. This will never happen. People see about their own interests. We must see about our interests, which is why Marcus Garvey said self-reliance in every area of life.
Yes, sir. All right. Closing now. Zane, 1st of August is coming up, and for the last 3 to 4 years or so, we see they have an emancipation march that goes on. Now, this time of the year, we know that the politicians, they are not in where they should be. And there's a petition that normally signed and are sent to the politicians, but the politicians are all on holiday at the moment. Another thing, for this march to go on, you have to pay the police, and you also have to pay the wind outside of the windows.
Rent.
You have to. Now we're asking for repatriation and also reparation and compensation of hundreds of years of brutality and enslavement. You think it's a fair thing, or is a wise thing to really pay someone who should be paid? Us, because that's what we're saying.
Yeah, because that's a contradiction. Because it's a no.
What you're right.
It is a contradiction, because what it means is that those who owe us we are being asked to pay them. So that's a contradiction. And not only that, in terms of reparations, to get reparations, we have to mentally emancipate ourselves, because no down presser is ever, history has shown this, ever going to give you what you want unless you have the authority and power to get it. This is why Marcus Garvey said, a race without authority and power is a race without respect.
True.
We can only get reparations when enough of our people are...
Yes, my brothers and sisters.